How the name Vybz Kartel evolved? Well, originally the group was, it was a group, you know what I mean, three of us. Me, my name at the time was Adi Bantan, and then I got my singer, Pete, and Mr. Lee, DJ, you know what I mean? We were always DJing on stage shows, Locking Portmore, and people always used to, MCs used to call us on like Waterford crew, names like We Are the World. You know what I mean? I ain't fucking Bruce Springsteen, so I had to come up with a name, and at the time everyone was using crew, you know what I mean? This crew, that crew. So me I say Vybz Kartel, no me I say Kartel, no me like the name there. So one night me I watch a joke show me name Cali Kartel, and the name just stuck. So I just changed my singer name from Pete to Escobar, you know what I mean? And Mr. Lee, well, my original name as the killer in the cartel, and you don't know me as the CEO, executive, so I had to change my name to Adi the teacher. Well, the crew scaled down now to one because of, you know what I mean, circumstances beyond my lyrical control, you know what I mean? So right now we're just one. But we got the vibes of a crew, we got the vibes of a cartel. That's why the ladies insisted that I'd start well.
Okay. Get some news, say the Trinidad Defense Minister is trying to limit cartels' public engagement ahead of the concert. You don't know the concert in Trinidad is May the 31st. I'm gonna read the article. I'm gonna read this here so first. We kind of giving a synopsis of what is going on, and then we are gonna go in depth in the article. Then me are gonna give you my in between reading the article, I must stop in certain bits and pieces, giving my take on it, and then me I go on in the comment section for reason with me, because me I go answer on the comments, whether negative or positive, and kind of see where on the depth on the topic, because this is kind of a very interesting thing where it's shocking to me, but it's not shocking because we understand what going on in a sense. So thanks to CNW Network for the article and for this post. We are going to draw a reference from what they say, and then we go through. So it says here, Trinidad and Tobago's new defense minister, Wayne Sturge, just hit Vybz Kartel with major public appearance restrictions ahead of his visit later this month. The Jamaican dancehall star was set to touch down May 26th and do media runs, school visits, and community events before headlining the One Caribbean Music Festival on May 31st. But that's now blocked. Minister Sturge cited Carter's legal past and influence on youth, saying his exoneration wasn't based on merit, but a technicality. Even though he's been cleared by Jamaica's Court of Appeal, it's clear not everyone is rolling out the welcome mat. So that basically is what they're saying right there. There's a huge there's an article that we are going to share with you right now. We're going to read through the article, break it down, see if we can understand what is going on. I already did a live about this. You can go watch it. We are going to leave the live. We are going to pin the live to this so you guys can watch that if you want to pay more attention to what others had to say about this. We had a panel discussion about it. All right. So this is what it reads. Trinidad and Tobago newly appointed Defense Minister Wayne Sturge has moved swiftly to restrict the public itinerary of Jamaican dancehall star Vybz Kartel, who is set to arrive in the country later this month. According to a legal source within the ministry and reporting by the Trinidad Guardian, Sturge has prohibited the artist born Adidja Palmer from participating in several scheduled media and community events ahead of his May 31st performance at the rescheduled One Caribbean Music Festival. I don't know if you guys remember, this was supposed to happen, I think, early, I don't remember if it was February, but it was around Trinidad Carnival, and they had, a lot of people had negative feelings towards it. They didn't want Vybz Kartel to overshadow the celebration of festival. So they made claims and concerns about it, and I guess they listened to the patrons, so them say, all right, then we're gonna reschedule. But that is why the show is being kept now on the 31st. So That's that. So here, them say Vybz Kartel is expected to arrive in Trinidad on May 26th. However, an immigration order is being issued by Sturge, which blocks him from appearing on a morning radio program, a midday television show, and a local press drop scheduled for May 27th. Additional restrictions have been placed on activities planned for May 28th, including a meet and greet event, a visit to a school or youth center, a cultural lunch with community leaders, and an official public welcome. So I'm going to stop right here and talk a little bit about this part. So basically, it's not stating anything about Vybz Kartel not being able to perform in the country, but anything that he has pre-planned before the show by order the promoter. Because normally when promoters book shows, they want you to do a press run. You know what I mean? They're gonna parade you around the local television station and radio station to make people know that you're actually in the country. You're there for the show to help build morale and make sure people come out. I think tickets have already, I wouldn't say it's solo because I didn't check, but I know tickets are supposed to be sold still for the show. So everything is being planned and it's just waiting on Kartel and the other performers to arrive. I don't think Kartel is the only person that is going to be going on this press run. I would expect all the other artists to also be there, but Kartel is the headliner. He's the hot person right now, so more than likely this is being based around him. Now, I don't understand why he's being blocked. When we go further in another article, you're gonna kind of understand the part of why him don't want him to visit the school or the youth center. And let me say, all right then, just for argument's sake, let's give him a pass on that one. Okay, you have that one, but why isn't he allowed to go to the radio station or the TV station? Why can't he do the local press drop? Why can't he do the lunch with the community leaders? And why can't he be welcomed by the public? Like that part I don't understand. But let's go further in the article so Uno can understand why I say what I just said a while ago. In a brief statement to Guardian Media, Sturge acknowledged the changes and expressed concern over Kartel's influence on young people, citing the artist's legal history. His exoneration was not based on merit, but on a legal technicality, the minister reportedly said, adding that a full media release will be issued shortly. So basically, what he's saying here is that because Kartel was convicted of murder, served 13 years in prison, he's not fit to have a conversation with the youth because the influence he has is a negative one on young people. Now, that part I really don't understand, but me did say me I give him the benefit of the doubt. But reading through this, I'm seeing that this is a personal vendetta against Vybz Kartel, and let me explain why. The Privy Council, which is the highest appellant court, it governs over both Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. Him, Mr. Sturge, being the justice minister, would be working in the same department that is governed by the same judicial system that exonerated Vybz Kartel. So if he is the Minister of Justice, that means he's supposed to go by the laws that govern the land and not by his personal beliefs or his personal feelings. Mind you, the law that governs the land is what freed Vybz Kartel. Whether it be a technicality or whatever it be, it was governed by the law of the land. The same land that he serves as the justice minister. So irrespective of what you think or how you might feel about Vybz Kartel or feel about the proceedings of how he got freed, at the end of the day, he has a clean police record at present. He's not a convict or anything like that. The law freed him of those charges. The same law that you are supposed to uphold being the justice minister. So basically, when we read and get from this is that you have a personal vendetta against Vybz Kartel, and you're abusing your power to go as far to get an immigration block on Vybz Kartel to not allow him to do a job that he's getting paid for. If the knowledge that I have of the music industry, all these places that he's supposed to go, he's not going there for free. This must have been already put in the contract that this is what we want you to do, and we need you in the country by this time. Mind you, the show is not until the 31st, but Vybz Kartel is supposed to, or was supposed to, enter the country by the 26th. That's a whole 5 days before the show, to do press runs and whatnot. So this, what this minister is doing, is not legal, and I think something needs to be done about this. Because if you're stopping him from coming in the country at a certain time, at what time are you? At what time is it okay for him to enter the country? Because he has to do the show on the 31st. Are you now saying, is this the first step in stopping him from performing altogether? Is this what's going on? This don't make any sense. This seems like a personal attack on Vybz Kartel. There are other artists too that are going to be on the show. What you're saying, they don't have any influence on anybody? And if Vybz Kartel wants to speak to the youth of Trinidad, he doesn't have to speak to them in person. He can go on his social media and he can do that. And if he wants to be petty, he can do a sponsored post and direct it to only Trinidad. And only people in Trinidad see that message. What are you guys going to do about that? By the time you run around to block it, the message is already out there. So basically what you're doing is it really don't make any sense. If he really wants to speak to these kids, he can. And he can also speak to these kids when he does his show, when he's on stage. Because there's people are going to be doing live streams, people are going to be recording the event, so it's going to be out there on social media. So what are you guys really trying to stop here? Like, seriously, what are you guys really trying to stop? We'll make read some more. Vybz Kartel had initially been scheduled to perform in Trinidad in February, as I had said in the earlier part of the video, but the event was postponed to May. He was freed of a murder conviction. Well, this is stuff that you guys already know. But we just have to read this last part. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go into that, because that part don't really make any sense. That part is just mentioning the conviction and him going to prison and all that. That is not really necessary for this video at this time. Now, I don't understand what is really going on or what is the problem here, but this to me seems like a personal attack on Vybz Kartel and Vybz Kartel brand. I think him and his team need to take some action against this and do the necessary things to reverse or overturn whatever this minister is trying to do. This makes no sense to me. This is personal, because if you work in the Department of Justice as the head person, you are the minister that controls this portfolio, and somebody got exonerated by the same law that governs your country, how are you going to use your personal feelings to say that he got off on a technicality? So it's basically you're saying that Vybz Kartel is still a guilty man when the law states otherwise. You're not above the law. You're just a minister that was appointed to oversee the Justice Department. That doesn't make you above the law. That doesn't mean that you can use your personal feelings to wield your power to do what you see fit when it comes to your personal feelings, really and truly. That's not how power works. And I hate the fact that a lot of our Caribbean countries, this is what happens. And there's nobody else in power that will step in and tell these persons that whatever you're doing is wrong and it needs to stop. And you haven't even been in power. Let me see, April. You haven't even been in power for a month yet, as far as I've heard. So what? This is your big step. This is the first big thing that you want to do. Your first month in power. You guys are talking about Vybz Kartel influence. There's a huge gang war going on in Trinidad right now that involves the dancehall artists or Trinidad artists, if you may say. And what are you guys doing to stem that? Vybz Kartel influence is influence that is infinite, that you guys can tap into and use to try to help these youths to see that what they are doing is wrong. Use what happened to Vybz Kartel and how he got caught up as an example. So them can say, all right then, me no want to go down that road no more. Not all of them might listen, but if you even save one of them, that's a lot. Based on how many of these young kids have been losing their lives over these things that have been happening in the country. And I don't think Vybz Kartel would frown upon it if you guys called upon him to do a press conference to minister to these kids and explain to them what he went through being behind bars. But instead, you would rather block him completely. For what? Ever since Vybz Kartel came from prison, have you heard his name being called on any negativity? Guys, you only need to fix things. You know, do things the old way, and I use them past for draw judgment. So basically, what you're saying is, if it was a regular civilian that got into some trouble, went to prison, did his time, when he comes out or when he's freed, if he's trying to lead his life in a different way, you guys still are going to look at him as that person that he was prior to him changing his life around? Is that the message you guys are trying to send? That there is no rehabilitation in the prison system in the Caribbean? That no person that goes to prison cannot come back as a changed person? Is that the message you're trying to send? But all in all, don't want to draw this out too long. You know what I mean? I just felt to share my opinion on this whole thing. Hopefully, you guys can sound off in the comment section and let me know. But at the end of the day, Vybz Kartel is in high spirits ahead of his show that is coming up. And this is the message I think he's trying to send to these people. Read the caption, "From Prison to Prosperity." And he has a song to go with that. And this is how I'm going to leave you guys until next time.
My mommy, them say your son go to prison. I'm sorry, but me must come a road. Remember that I'm a daddy. From prison to prosperity, I'm in Miami. Hey, Ziggy, where me Grammy? I do just sell out every arena. Me love money.
How the name Vybz Kartel evolved? Well, originally the group was it was a group, you know what I mean, three of us. Me, my name at the time was Adi Bantan, and then I got the singer, Pete, and Mr. Lee, DJ, you know what I mean? We were always DJing on stage shows, Locking Portmore, and people always used to, MCs used to call us on like Waterford Crew, names like We Are the World, you know what I mean? I ain't fucking Bruce Springsteen, so I had to come up with a name, and at the time everyone was using Crew, you know what I mean? This crew, that crew. So me I say Vybz Kartel, no me I say Kartel, no me like the name there. So one night me I watch a joke show now when name Cali Kartel, and the name just stuck. So I just change my singer name from P to Escobar, you know what I mean? And Mr. Lee, well, my original name as the killer in the cartel, and you don't know me as the CEO, executive, so I had to change my name to Adi the Teacher. Well, the crew scaled down now to one because of, you know what I mean, circumstances beyond my lyrical control, you know what I mean? So right now we're just one. But we got the vibes of a crew, we got the vibes of a cartel. That's why the ladies insisted that I'd start well.